Hi everyone, I am Rebecca from ChemKids, and who doesn't love a good old Dyepot weekly field trip? Today we are going to play with an interesting tie-dye kit. Tie-dye is actually really hot this season, and it's funny that I haven't filmed any other tie-dye videos this summer, but my kids have been very interested in this kit, and so I am hoping to, well, change clothes and then play with them and tie-dye some shirts this afternoon, and then later we will try this with some yarn. But alright, enough teasing. I have this kit. I forget where I got it. But it looks interesting. This Swirl and Style tie-dye studio has this contraption. It's like a sphere with a crank and holes that are supposedly a mess-free tie-dye kit. And is it actually going to be mess-free? I don't know. But I thought it would be really fun to try. I mean, the instructions say that, like, you know, you put the shirt in, you spray the color in, you swirl it around, and then you can even wash it in that container. I'm hoping that I'll be able to fit 2 kids' shirts in here, but actually, well, maybe it's not assembled yet because this isn't very thick. But let's open up the box and see what's inside. The main reason why I got this wasn't for some mess-free tie-dye. It was because I want to dye yarn with it because it looks interesting. It has the Design Studio. There's 6 bottles and 12 dye powders that have about 1 gram each. There's the technical booklet, the some rubber bands, the clear gloves, some bottle stickers, which I think is hilarious, and instructions. Oh, interesting. It said on the box 2 clear gloves. Those definitely feel like latex gloves. This kit even contains instructions on how to cut your own funnel, but I don't think I'm gonna bother putting these Swirl and Style tie-dye stickers on the bottles. I don't think there's really any purpose, and I mean, unless these are like stock bottles versus being made for this, it's just funny that they weren't already applied to the bottles. There are pretty decent color instructions in here for different types of colorways that you can create with tie-dyed t-shirts. And so, oh, and I like that they give the choices for colors that they used and combined. Maybe they don't recommend using all 6 colors at once, but I will go read the directions right now. So here are the valves that we have, and so we can take and press the tip of the bottles through, but when you remove it, it does seem like it's a good seal, and so that would be really fun for yarn dyeing. I am very curious how mess-free this will be though. So there's no point into doing a lot of the assembly of the orb until I'm ready to insert a shirt or shirts into it, but then it should set up pretty easily on there. There are these little containers on the side that maybe I guess it's to hold rubber bands or something. I'm not really sure what the purpose is, but it's nice that there's at least a space to put the dye. Looking at the instructions, there's one thing that is a little concerning. For the shirts that you dye, it says cold hand wash only, which is not what I'm used to seeing with fiber reactive dyes. So maybe this isn't a fiber reactive dye, but you know, maybe it's not that worrying. It doesn't say much about the dyes, but we'll give these a shot. And if we're not happy with the color performance, then we could always try this using other types of dyes with the setup if we like it. But honestly, I'm really excited about putting yarn in here, squirting color in, and then swirling it around. That just seems fun.
Hi, I'm Roger from ChemKids. Lucas from ChemKnits is back. Good to see you again. Yeah, good to see you.
All right, boys. What are you excited to do today?
Dye some yarn.
Well,
not yarn today. Today we'll be dyeing shirts with our all new Swirl my studio. This is a studio. It's our house. And we sort of do stuff here.
Okay.
Pretty silly. But yeah. This is going to be one fun episode. I'm not sure this season has had shirt dyeing.
Actually, I was talking about that earlier. How about you each pick one color?
Wait, I wanted all colors on my shorts.
Well, the problem is that there's too much dye for all the colors, and I think that the kit seems to recommend that you do a mixture of 2 colors.
Orange, which is going to be mixed with. I have purple. That's going to be mixed with orange. No, my purple. I have 2 colors in my shorts. That is purple and blue.
No, you guys are going to have the same colors because we're going to fit all of your shirts in the container at the same time.
I don't want to do that.
Well, let me show you some of the color combinations. Okay, so if we did, for example, red and yellow, then we would get orange in the shirt.
I want green. I want orange and green. Orange for me. So it looks like we're gonna do orange and green. New combination.
All right.
That's short.
That's very pretty. Mommy's gonna get the dyes ready. Remember, this is supposed to be no mess.
And I mix it up.
Mommy's gonna mix up the dyes, but you guys are gonna get to put the dyes on the shirt. Okay?
Yay.
Now, so the final answer. What colors are we doing?
We are gonna do orange and green.
Orange and green. This will be really, really beautiful, and maybe like a pumpkin. Few comments. These gloves that came in the kit are really, really small, but the dyes actually do have stickers on them to indicate the color. The green one had fallen off, but by process of elimination, I believe that this is our green. And so I'm now going to, off camera, go and dissolve these into the 2 little bottles provided. I want to call this no mess. I didn't need the funnel to add the dye in here. It was coarse enough and these dissolved really easily. So that was nice. But I am very concerned about these just squirting all over the place. Very, very, very concerned. So we will see. But it was less messy than I anticipated.
Is that green and orange?
Yes, that is green and orange. All right, so we have a lot of choices of how we can combine these shirts together. Do you want me to do a random scrunch, or do you want to try to do a spiral, or what kind of pattern do you want?
Spiral.
You want a spiral? Lucas, what do you want?
Ooh, a spiral.
Okay, we'll go for like the classic spiral. Hopefully we'll be able to fit them both in to our little orb. I am going to pinch the shirt in the center near the top and then twist it into this spiral. Now, Lucas, may I have the rubber bands? And the first one I'm going to put on pretty loose, but then the next one, I guess we can stay loose. Give me another one. Thank you, dear. And one more, Lucas. Okay. That is shirt 1, and shirt 1 looks like it'll fit inside this orb. Since the first shirt fits inside the orb, I think we'll be able to fit both.
What if this doesn't work?
Well, if it doesn't work, then we'll dye these shirts another way.
Choose one.
Well, hold on, kiddo. Okay, so we now need to do riders.
There's one by the store.
Oh, thank you, kiddo.
Don't mean Ryder from ChemKids.
It's Ryder from ChemKnits. Okay, kiddo. And I need another one. Now, there are some orange hints on here. I'm not sure if there were some rogue orange powders on my hand, which makes me nervous that there will then be some rogue orange powders in my house, because I did wash my hands. And,
Uh-oh.
And I do observe right now that the orange bottle is leaking a little bit, but I did bring some paper towels outside. Now I'm going to attempt to assemble the contraption. And I think the way I want to do this is have the shirts, rather than laying flat in the orb, I want one sort of on bottom, one on top, like so. And we've got some leaves in there, and that's fine. Next, we're supposed to take these yellow things and screw it on. I am actually following the instructions. Okay, so those are on tightly. And now I have to stick it inside this blue spinner. And now I have to, okay, I don't know how I'm supposed to do that. Oh, maybe I'm supposed to use the handle to help me screw these on? Yeah, that's some smart thinking to seal the container, because I put it on and I was like, how on earth? It's pretty nice that this seems to be able to go either direction. It means that you could add color and then flip it upside down and then spin it more the other way.
This is awesome.
This is awesome. It is pretty cool. I don't know about mess free. As I said, this orange is leaking a bit, and it seems like the more pieces that we have around, the more there is to clean up. But I guess it spins like this, just on there, and then we could remove the handle, flip it over, and then spin it the other way. So that's pretty cool. I guess you don't really need the handle because you can spin it from this pretty easily. But I do notice a little defect on the handle up here, but this shouldn't affect the integrity of the container. The real question is if this will actually be mess free. And I still think it'll be really fun to dye yarn this way, but honestly, it feels like it would be easier to tie dye in the regular way. So let's see. Mommy's gonna give this a try first because I want to see how mess free it is. Okay?
Mommy,
all right, so look, I don't need that one. Okay, so I opened it and I got a little bit of dye on my hands. I may have overfilled it, so I'm not super worried. But now I'm going to pop this in, and once it's already inserted, then I'm gonna squeeze. And, okay, did you guys see that?
Little leaky.
A little leaky. So, this is not mess free. But we are outside, so the bit of mess is not a huge issue. But if you squeeze the bottles, like the caps they didn't screw on. They sort of,
the green one is leaking.
Yeah, the green is leaking too. The caps didn't screw on. They sort of just clicked on. And so yeah, there is going to be some mess involved. But let's try the green. So the nice thing is that you need to squeeze very gently. Okay, kids? Very gently. And we'll still have some mess on the ground, but I think what I'm going to do now is flip it over, and why don't we let Lucas have a turn?
You got it.
Now do not squeeze yet. Insert it into a hole first. Push it all the way in before you squeeze, and now gently, very gently squeeze. And Lucas, you're getting it all over your hand. There we go. Maybe they were just a little over full. Okay, you may put some green. Why don't you pick a different hole and we'll put green in. This is not mess free. Do not, okay, you need to put it in before you squeeze, and then squeeze very gently.
Seems just to take a bit.
So squeeze short bursts. Seems to work better than long ones. Okay, but careful.
When will be mine?
Okay, it's about to be your turn. I will flip it to Ryder's shirt. Okay, Ryder, pick a hole. Where do you want to go?
I pick that one.
Pick this one? Okay. So come here. Do you want green or orange?
This one.
Okay, push it in the hole all the way.
There.
You want to go in that one? Okay. Push it in all the way. Now, gently squeeze. There you go. Squeeze. There you go. Now squeeze. You can squeeze. Use two hands and squeeze.
Can't I work while Ryder's working?
Let's do one kid at a time. Okay. So
Now it's time for me to roll in.
okay, pick a different hole.
And the green overflow.
Pick another hole. Which hole do you want? That one? Okay.
And the orange takes a spin.
Okay. Squeeze. Yep. Yep. Good job. Now you need to tilt it down and squeeze. There you go. Good job. Good job. Okay, that's enough.
That's it. I am going to see what the orange and green makes.
Okay.
And
Push it all the way in before you squeeze.
insert. And
There you go.
wow. It makes a ocus pulvis.
Okay, Lucas, take it out and let's pick a new spot. Rotate it. That's okay. It's okay. That's why we're wearing old clothes. Now, just put it in one of the holders. Okay, now rotate this and pick another hole. Maybe that one?
Sure. It does need some oil. Wow. Enjoying our beautiful colors.
Wow. Okay, now take it out.
It seems like these
Now,
colors.
why don't you spin it? Try spinning it.
Spin.
I don't think that's doing anything. Okay, stop.
We
Now,
better get more color in more places.
yeah, so let's see. Let's rotate this again.
Now it's
Ooh. Yeah, because look, there's a bunch of color on the top and, ooh, interesting. I just put it in a way, wait, I put it in a way that I can't spin. There's like a lock if you want. So if you don't want to spin, there is a way to get it locked in. Interesting. Okay, it's locked in right now. Ryder, which hole do you want to use?
This one.
Okay, that one.
Push hard,
Not that hard.
but short.
And you might need to pull back a little bit because that, oh, no, that's working. There you go. And now why don't you pull it out? Stop squeezing, pull it out, and squirt it in, put it in another hole.
I'm done with sitting now. I'm going to go with.
Okay, maybe in this hole right here.
Well, how about in a orange spot? Like
Okay.
here?
That's fine.
This brown spot needs some more green. I love
But you need to tilt it up so that way the green can come out the hole. Nope, other way. Tilt the nose down. Yep, there you go.
I love the orangish greenish color we made.
That's so cool. All right, now stop, Ryder.
Now pull it out.
Pull it out. Now put it down. Okay. What I wish there was one right there. We're not really getting that area. And because there's one here. I wonder
how we can get color there. We could squirt it there and eventually the stuff would
yes,
pour down
but
here.
thank you. But what I'm wondering is if I put it I wonder if I put it together in the right way or if they should have gone in an opposite direction. I just wish that there were more points where I could add the color. And now I'm gonna actually take it off and dip. Aha! Look. What do you guys see?
Color.
Color. So we can, why don't we crank it? Okay?
Crank it.
Yeah.
Why? Like this.
Yeah.
Here it goes, guys. Ready, set, go.
I mean, I don't know if that's actually doing anything.
But I think maybe I'm doing oopsie, sorry.
That's okay.
This is hard.
Yeah, I don't think that really does much. Should we use up all the color on this shot?
I'll take this. No, let's just use a lot of color on this.
Okay, why don't we go and use up the rest of the color?
I will take.
I let the kids go to town with the remaining dye. This wasn't the messiest tie-dye experience I've had with a pre-K set, but it was definitely not mess-free. The bottles leaked and the kids got dye on their hands, but I mean, they stayed relatively clean otherwise. And the orb does seem to contain the color. And as I was filming this voiceover, Lucas's tooth just came out. So this has been a very exciting morning. The one
Afternoon, you mean?
afternoon. Now, the one thing that I do wish is that The downside of the orb is this would be really, really cool if we had picked, say, red and yellow and then watched them blend into orange. But picking orange and green, when they mix, they're going to both be more muted. So that means we're going to have a much more muted colorway overall. But if we had been able to have more control over the color placement, we could have preserved some of the brightness in the green and orange. And so I'm not sure if I would use this for shirts in the future. Maybe we'll give it one more try another point using 2 primary colors or something. But anyway, let's take a closer look. So what did you think about this contraption?
It's been good, but we'll need to wash the yarn.
The shirts, yes. Ah, it's leaking.
I think that should be called the leak.
Back up. Okay.
Okay, there is our Leaker 2000.
This is the Leaker 2000. Yeah, when I picked it up, and I'll go show you in a moment, there was a lot of color on the bottom. Now, I don't know if this is color that had dripped on the outside or if this is leaking from the inside somewhere. But you can see that we've got a nice mixture of orange and green in here. And, you know, I think that it's gonna be pretty in a muddy kind of way, but very reflective of my 2 young boys. And we don't know what's going to happen on the interior, so we could have a lot of white left in here. So I'm going to set this aside, and I'm actually going to leave it outside overnight.
Let it wash for a couple of days.
Well, no, we'll just leave it outside overnight. I think it said 6 to 8 hours, so it'll be longer than that. But we'll leave it outside overnight, and then in the morning, we'll bring it inside to rinse it in this container. But it is not mess-free. I still want to use this to dye yarn. That is why I bought it, after all, because I thought it would be fun. And it still might be fun, but it is not mess-free. And it was advertised as mess-free as I come, and I think that things leaked in every possible way. But, I mean, that's what happens with tie-dye. Everything leaks. And so I will set this up here and leave it like this overnight. And so then we'll know if we see color in here that it is leaking from the bottom of the apparatus. So what have you guys thought? Have you liked this outside tie-dyeing while wrestling my children video?
And it's only taken 1 day, which is not normal with videos.
Wait, what?
It's not normal for a video to last only 1 day.
Okay, but there is going to be more video. This isn't quite the conclusion. But if you would like to see me do more traditional tie-dyeing videos, I do have some. I'll link the playlist below. But let me know down in the comments what techniques you'd like me to try. I would love to try the star technique and heart techniques I've tried in the past again, and a lot more things. Guys, do you like wearing tie-dye t-shirts?
Tie-dye, tie-dye, tie-dye. It's a tie-dye font.
Oh my gosh. All right, but anyway, subscribe and like this video, and tomorrow, or in just a few moments for you, we will be back to wash these shirts and then see how pigmented these dyes are. But even so, even if these dyes themselves aren't that pigmented, we can use the contraption with other dye types. It doesn't have to be this
tie fun.
It doesn't have to be the swirl and style dye that came with it. ChemKids time!
Subscribe if you like this channel, and please enjoy more episodes of special ChemKnits videos from Outdoor Fun.
Lucas,
Outdoor ChemKnits Fun.
you
bye signals.
yes, okay.
Enjoy tie-dye fun.
All right. This isn't the end of the video yet, guys. The end of the video will be you guys wearing your shirts, okay? I changed my mind. Since I have the shirts stacked, one here and one there, I decided to put it on its side. That way, where the liquid is pulled towards the bottom, it'll access both of the shirts versus just the one more on the bottom, giving us a bit more consistency. So yeah, but I've left this out back, and so it will get a little bit of heat because it's a warm day, but we will check back in on this in the morning. And wish me luck trying to wash this with the boys around. it is so humid out here right now. The orb is super steamy and I don't see a ton of liquid at the bottom anymore. I am gonna stick it in this pan because I don't want it to leak as we bring it inside to start washing it. But we will also need to wash all of this, which I will do off camera. Kids, what do you see?
Our clothes look cool.
The clothes look cool? Well, careful.
It's heavier than I expected. Yeah.
Okay, so now we have to try to get it out of the contraption. And so I'm glad I brought this in to use like a screwdriver. Thanks, Lucas. There we go. That one came off. Oh dear, leaking. Okay, let me get a paper towel and then we'll take the handle off. But I think not the yellow screws.
Yeah.
Okay, so we take the handle off and now maybe I put one of these caps back on and we'll go and try to wash it like this. But, haha, no mess. Maybe it's in the sink. All right, let's go set up my sink.
This is now mess-free.
It's now mess-free?
Yeah. Look at that go.
Okay, so let's see. Well, we filled it with water and the orb does hold. Aha, where are we leaking from? Okay, we are leaking from around all these little valves. I'm not sure if you guys can see, but with it completely full of water, we do have drops coming out of there. So this container would not work for some like immersion dyeing situations, but I guess I'm gonna remove the bottom cap and we'll see about rinsing it. I'm not sure how efficient this is.
Oh, it's gonna the green color.
Oh, honey, but there's going to be some green color left in. The rinse through is not that bad, but I think that maybe we should just open this up because I think that doing it this way in here isn't actually that efficient for getting a good rinse.
You're getting the clothes out.
I'm getting the clothes out. Okay.
Ooh, it looks beautiful.
It looks beautiful.
It looks like there's fire on your shower.
All right, so now we can see.
The water's looking green.
Now the water's looking green. So we want to rinse these until the water starts to clear. And then we will be able to open them up.
And see what our surprise mix is.
Oh no, I thought I was filming. I rinsed it a bit more and then I just opened up Ryder's shirt, which is really beautiful. Even with the orange and green combination, I really like it. Let's open up Lucas's now.
And see what color combination my thing got.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do that. I'm not sure how pigmented these colors will remain after some more washing, but I will be showing you guys the shirts dry. But wow, whoa. Oh, that's the leaves. Let's look. Wow. So what's cool is that we actually got some reasonable separation of the orange and green with how the colors soaked into the shirt.
And the white really makes it look beautiful.
Yeah. And so the more muddy happened around like the outside edges. So I am excited. But I am going to keep rinsing it here. I'm not seeing as pigmented rinse off as I might see with tulip tie-dye. But maybe there's just less dye total in here because there's color coming out. There's color coming out, but it's not nearly as pigmented as I might expect. So while this is not mess-free, and I think I lost the kids, while this is not a mess-free project, it is not a incredibly messy project either. And I think the reason why this isn't that messy is ultimately there's not that much dye in these shirts, and I expect the color to be fairly pastel. I'm not sure how much dye is present in one, I think there's maybe 4-ounce bottle of tulip tie-dye, but it doesn't really matter if this has less payoff because you're not going to go out and buy this brand of tie-dye because I don't think they just sell tie-dye. I think that this is more about the whole like orb experience, which we will use, even though it leaks. We will use this to dye some yarn just because it's fun. Even though we had drips, and so it wasn't a completely mess-free as was advertised, it wasn't that messy. Like, we didn't end up with making a huge mess. Our hands weren't covered in dye. So there's that. And you can take with that what you will. But now I'm gonna wash these in my washing machine on cold a handful of times, then dry them, and then we'll take a look at the finished shirts. Here are the finished t-shirts that we dyed with this interesting tie-dye contraption. The colors are fairly pastel. I really like the coverage on the bigger shirt, and that there's a lot of separation between the orange, the green, and then the more muddied colors in between. I think that they look cool and fun, and I'm glad we see a little bit of each color. I wish that we got a bit more pigmentation here on the smaller shirt, but I still think that it's really cool. And it's nice that my orange loving kid has a bit more orange on his shirt and the green loving kid has a bit more green. So I think that they're both going to be really excited when they see them. If not for the fact that I want to use the Swirl and Style Tie-Dye Studio to dye some yarn, I'm not sure if I would use it again. The one thing that was handy was having a place to put the various tie-dye bottles. But the bottles are so small and don't fit very much liquid. And if you think about it, there's this contraption that you say you can create up to 12 designs. But really, you can only really do one at a time, and then you have to wait another day. And with a lot of these dyes, you want to use the dyes up as quickly as possible to when you've mixed them. So having something like this, and if you have a bunch of kids around and it's like, okay, one of you can use it, and now you're going to leave the project in here for, 6 to 8 hours, that makes it a harder thing to work on with kids. It was unique and fun, but I think that the kids probably would have enjoyed applying the dye directly to the shirts just as much, and it might have been a little easier for me to direct. So, if you'd like to see me do some more tie-dye projects with my kids and film the experience, let me know down below. I don't think Swirl and Style, if that's the brand, oh, maybe Yuzu is the brand? I'm not really sure. It's a little unclear. I don't know if they sell tie-dye kits on their own, but if they did, I wouldn't really recommend it. I washed these shirts on cold as directed in the washing machine twice. And they didn't seem to lose a lot of pigmentation in that process. But let's compare these to a tie-dye shirt that I did with tulip tie-dye and I created years ago. So this green tie-dye shirt was dyed, gosh, I think when my eldest was 2 or 3 and he's 6.5 now. So this has been worn many times, many times, and washed many times. Goodness, I'll link to the video where I dyed it. There's a video on the channel. And so it has held up really well over the years. And it's sad that even some of these more pastel sections are more pigmented than some of the bright, I mean, maybe the pastel is less, but this shirt is not very pigmented. If you told me that these shirts were 10 years old and been through many washes, I would believe you, because that's how that pigmentation feels to me. As a parent, on one hand, I like maybe that the dyes aren't that pigmented, because if the kids are going to play with it, then they won't get as messy. But on the other hand, if we're going to go through the process of setting up and putting on old clothes and tie-dyeing, we may as well get some colors that have some more payoff. And this shirt isn't even one that I consider to have a, quote, ton of payoff. So that's just all stuff to consider. I would say that I'm not going to use the Swirl and Style Studio again, except I still want to use it to dye yarn. I think that it would be really fun. Maybe we should do it with some mini skeins and throw them in there. The idea of applying dye through these little holes excites me and feels very, very fun. So I'm excited to try this out again sometime in the future. But really, as like a novelty and for fun, I don't think that this is something that I would go out of my way to invest in. I double checked and I paid $20 for this kit. For $20, you can get a 5-color that has 10 packets of dye and 5 squeeze bottles kit of Tulip brand, and often you can get those even cheaper if you have a coupon. So yeah, I don't recommend that you go out and get this product unless you just want to laugh and play around with something that feels a little bit ridiculous. And now, let's go see what my kids think. Who wants to see your tie-dye t-shirts?
Me!
You ready?
Ready.
Open up your shirt and look at it.
So here is my brown-green mix. This is my green number.
Well, what colors did you use? Did you use brown and green? What colors did you make?
I mean, this is our orange.
Hold it up. Yeah, it's orange and green. What do you think?
And the brown, and the brown is mixed with orange and green.
That's right.
It's a pretty cool design I made, and I love Ryder's spiral.
Hey, Ryder, they can't see it. Can you hold it up?
I love the spiral on Ryder.
You guys like it?
Yeah. I think I love Ryder's shirt a bit better.
That's
Mine
okay.
is the best. Yours is this, Ryder. Yours is this too. I did too. Kiss his brothers. Brothers! We went to tie-dye.
If you want to see more, subscribe to the ChemKnits Tutorials YouTube channel.
With the ChemKids.
Yep.
Lucas's watch, his slippers, and his hat.
Yes, and the ChemKids actually have their own playlist because they like to make appearances in my videos from time to time.
Hello, Lucas here. Lucas from ChemKids, that is. I'm the one with the hat. I'm the one with the hat, the watch, and the slippers. I hope you like this video, and please subscribe. See you in some other videos. I'm Audio, and I also have... That's Ryder, so you know. And Ryder from ChemKids, that is. And I also have a fox buddy named Foxo.
Yes, Foxo.
Foxo.
Can you guys say thank you for watching?
Thanks for watching. Hope you see more of us on other videos.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
If you want to see more episodes, just go to dyedye.com.
Nope.
Wide Lucas's stuff, and I would